Plant a Garden, retold by Catherine C. Tierney. One day, Coyote was walking in the forest when he found an open field. He thought, this field would make a good place to plant a garden and grow food for my family. But Coyote knew it would be a lot of work. He would be unable to do it by himself. He would need help. If only he had a big, strong, sturdy animal as a partner, he wouldn't have to work so hard. Where could he find a partner like that? At that very moment, Coyote heard a stirring in the forest. Bear came wandering through the trees. Coyote knew that he was looking at the perfect partner. Coyote startled Bear. "Good morning, Bear," Coyote said, trying to use his kindest voice. "See that nice open land over there?" he asked. "I do," answered Bear. "Why don't we plant a garden there together?" Coyote asked. "It would grow food for our families." "I agree," said Bear. "I will bring the seeds." They decided to meet the next day. Coyote smiled to himself for choosing such a perfect partner. Bear was big and strong and would do most of the work. But Coyote wanted to make sure the best part of the crop went to him, not Bear. He thought that if Bear knew this, he would think it was unfair, so he decided he would play a trick. The next morning, as promised, they met at the field. "Before we begin, we should decide how the crop will be divided," said Coyote. "I will take all that grows above the earth, and you take all that is unseen below." Bear thought for a little while. "That sounds fair to me," he replied. So the work began. After several hours, the field had been cleared and seeds were planted in neat rows. Both animals had worked hard. Coyote smiled as he walked home, dreaming of the day when the crop would ripen. Every day, Coyote and Bear came to work in the field. The seeds were left untouched in the soil as they hoed the weeds, and every once in a while watered the ground. Soon small green sprouts appeared. Then the rain came. The sprouts grew bigger and bigger. Coyote thought how happy his family would be to have such delicious-looking food. After many weeks, the bushy plants were full and green. Bear said it was time to harvest. "These leaves will keep my family full for months," Coyote thought as he picked the green tops and put them in his sack. Bear followed behind to retrieve dirty, round things from the ground. "Bear's half is so ugly compared to my green leaves. How clever I am," Coyote thought, smiling. Before long, both their sacks were full. They started home with their harvests. Several weeks later, Coyote met Bear in the forest. "What kind of seeds did we plant, Bear?" he asked. "My family didn't like the leaves I brought home." "They are called potatoes," replied Bear with a smile. "My family loved them." "What misfortune I have! I don't think the crop was divided fairly," complained Coyote. "But it was your idea. What do you think we should do about it?" asked Bear. "Let's plant another crop, but this time I get the part that grows in the earth. You can have the part above ground." "Agreed," said Bear. "I'll bring the seeds." Coyote walked home, thinking how easy it was to trick Bear. The following day, they cleared the field and planted the seeds Bear brought. Several days passed. Soon the seeds turned into sprouts, pushing through the earth. While with the rains, the plants grew tall and straight. These looked different from the potatoes, Coyote thought. One day, Bear looked at the green plants and said, "It is time to harvest." The partners agreed to meet the next morning. Coyote arrived on time. To his surprise, he discovered that Bear was already there. Beside him on the ground was a full sack. "Good morning, Coyote," called Bear. "I decided to get an early start. I have taken all I need from the top. Do you remember what we agreed on? You can have everything growing in the ground." "Great," said Coyote, eager to get started. Bear heaved his sack over his back and started home. As Bear walked away, Coyote dug into the ground excitedly. But he did not find round, firm potatoes. He found only roots as thin as threads. He bit into one and spit it right back out. It was bitter. "Wait, Bear, what kind of seeds did we plant this time?" "They are called corn," Bear yelled over his shoulder. Coyote stood staring at the hole he had dug. "Well," he said with his head down and his tail dragging the ground, "I'll bring the seeds next time." Carrying his empty sack in his mouth, he went home to face his hungry family.